what's going on, guys? I'm back. Did you miss me? Probably not, but it's okay because we have a Zombies Backfire here for you today. I'm doing another one of these at like 3 o'clock at night. Oh my god, it is 5 a.m. right now. I need to get my priorities straight because I'm going to die. Like, I genuinely am nocturnal at this point. Like, I never realized my sleep schedule would be as screwed up as Lex's was like a month ago, but it really is. But anyways, if you don't know what a Zombies Backfire is, that's basically where I take your guys' comments on a previous video of mine at random and we spotlight them in a video. It's basically things people say with just me, your friendly neighborhood JC here. I might not be the best host you could have asked for, but I guess you could always just get DC to kidnap me again if you really wanted to. Anyways though, all of these comments are from the Gorod Krovi review that I did about a week ago. And all these comments are basically your guys' opinion on not only my review, but the actual map itself. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Simon Later Mom says, what happened to Peter? You know, that's a very good question. I really don't know. I guess, honestly, Peter's in hell. I don't know where the guy is, to be real. Cave Bob Spongeman says, I wish the boss fight arena was accessible after the cutscene. This is something I think a lot of us were sort of, disappointed with a little bit, because with Zetsubo no Shima, when you did the Easter egg, you unlocked that separate area, and I honestly thought that was going to be a reoccurring thing. But then again, though, the boss area was so huge that it's kind of hard for them to implement that into, adding that to the map, because it's just such a huge area. It'd be really easy to train there, super easy to get to high rounds, so it's kind of a good thing they didn't. But at the same time, I do wish there was something else that we unlocked in the map that sort of stayed with us as a reward other than just perks, because let's be honest, at this point, perkaholics are so easy to get that just getting perks for your 3-hour Easter egg journey, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the best thing in the world for me, and I kind of wish there was something else that we unlocked at the end. Now for this next comment, I have to give some context to it, right? So in the cutscene, the ending cutscene of Gorod, in my review, I noted that that was the first time I've ever seen Takeo actually be nice to Nikolai and pat him on the back and give him support, because they both gone through the same sort of thing at this point. And I noted how in the original storyline, Takeo and Nikolai, they hated each other. They were rivals in a sense. They hated each other's guts in, back in Black Ops 1 and World at War. And Diva here is saying the Takeo Support was my favorite part. And when one of them says, all we have now is each other, this map kind of shows how the events have changed them from forced allies to brothers in arms who care about each other. The back pat was just like visual confirmation. I think this is a very good comment. I really think Treyarch is trying to make us feel for these characters more so than we used to, because back in the old days of World at War and Black Ops 1, these guys were like criminals, right? Like, these guys were very bad people, and at this point, they're like heroes to us. These guys have been through so much heartache, just so many bad things at this point, and the characters have really bonded over all of this. Like, the characters are a really good team now and they work well together. And I think Treyarch is setting it up this way because they want DLC 4 to be impactful. They want us to feel for what's going on. They want us to feel if someone dies or if somebody betrays us. And I think it's working. I feel for these characters more than I've ever have in the zombie storyline, and that's crazy to me. Like, it's crazy that they've grown so much. They started out as these stereotypes in World at War, these bad people who were stereotypes of each nation in World War II, and now they're like heroes. They're almost like a legendary force. They are a legendary force at this point, and it's just really cool to see. It's really cool to see. Tom Hart says, shut the F up about Shangri-La. This next comment is a pretty big one, guys, so sit back, relax, and I'll walk you guys through it the best I can. This one's from Wario, and he says, couldn't agree more. You explain your points too well. Thank you so much, Wario. I never thought I'd be thanking a Mario character since I'm a Sonic fan, but thank you, Wario, thank you. The lockdown is probably my favorite feature in the map, at least one of my favorite features, and it truly gives me a Nocturne Totem feeling, as you're in a small house where the zombies slowly walk towards it, trying to break in. It's just like Noct, you see them spawn in, running towards the house, and you and your team protects it while you're trying to survive inside this small, tight house. Not to mention the MG42. I really wish this house alone was a separate game mode or a map. Imagine how cool it would have been having a map set inside this little house with 3 floors, 1 gumball machine, the MG42, the Pack-a-Punch, and a 1-box location. No perks. It could have been a normal map with rounds, or it could have been a time-based challenge on how long you can survive. It would have been so great. But anyways, Gorod Krovi is a really awesome map and great video. Thank you again. But yeah, I love this comment so much because when I first played this map for the first time, that is like one of the first things I thought of as well, because the MG42 was, if you guys don't know, I think I've said this before in other videos, but originally before Zombies was created, Treyarch had this idea of a basically like a bunker defense mode, a bonus mode to World at War, and it was basically like the opposite of D-Day. So you were on the American side and you were mowing down Germans with an MG42 coming into this bunker, and that eventually changed into Zombies. Like it started from that and eventually became a Zombies mode later, and that's how Zombies was basically born. And I think honestly this whole house was a reference to that. I really think they wanted to give us a Nocturne Toten vibe here, and I really liked it. I loved the lockdown sequence. I loved having waves upon waves come in and you feel like you're in a no man's land area. And honestly, I agree with you as well. I think this would have been really cool as like a separate mode you could play as well. Sort of how you could pick on Transit, how you could pick those multiple areas in Transit to just play a singular game on. It'd been really cool if you could do that with this map in some way. Just play in that one house, have a box there so you can have some different weapons, and then just see how long you can survive working as a team in the smallest space ever as a Zombies map. I think that would have been awesome. Michael Grove says, imagine the trailer for the next map. You know in Gorod Krovi how Dempsey spins the box and gets the PPSH? What if in Revelations one of the characters drinks PhD Flopper? Would be dope. I definitely agree. I think they're gonna wow us in some way. They're gonna bring something back or just do a lot at once to really make us go, whoa. Because you gotta think about this, right? If the PPSH was like the epic thing to bring back in this map, in Gorod Krovi, what is gonna be the next thing? What are they gonna do in DLC 4 in the trailer to make everybody freak out? There's gotta be something. They gotta up the stakes one more notch for the very final map. And it's really exciting to just think about the possibilities of what we could have in this map. We could have all the perks be in the map. We could have, you know, all the wonder weapons possibly, just different wonder weapons in the map that we've had in the past that come back. You know, there's so many things that we could have in this map as the final one, and it's got me so excited just thinking about it. Room Springer, talking about the wonder weapon in the mystery box, says, I completely agree, man. I was complaining about the lack of weapon variety in the box for a long time. Now I just hope they put them in Revelations. Also, there's only one buildable and one buildable table for the first time ever, and that's very, very interesting. That is something I really liked about this map that I never mentioned in the review. I really like that there's only one place for where the riot shield goes because it just makes it more simple. I don't think we ever needed a bunch of different spots for the riot shield, and in the long run it just made it confusing because you're like, where's the shield at? Where'd you build it at, man? And the other guy's like, I don't know, dude, I just place it somewhere. And then you're just like, come on, man, where's the shield? And now we have a definitive spot for where it is, so I really like that. Also, the wonder weapon being in the box, I mean, I've been preaching that for days on this channel, for months, for years. It's almost been a year at this point for how long I've been preaching that, and it's crazy that they finally put in a wonder weapon in the box for the first time since Buried, and I'm just really happy about that personally because I love that so much. You can really tell that Treyarch wanted this map to be simple and fun to play at its core because they know what's coming next. They know that DLC 4 is most likely, if Origins is any foreshadowing to that, this next map, Revelations, is probably going to be the most Easter egg oriented map we've ever had. So the wonder weapons, sadly to say, they're probably going to be quest oriented again, just like they were probably in Horizon Drag. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because I don't really mind it if it's the final map, but for a map like Gorod Krovi, I am so happy that the ray gun's in the box. Like, it's just such an awesome feeling that they finally did something that I wanted to happen for so long. Too Many Joe says, how come no one else thinks that maybe the loved one of Nikolai who was lost was maybe his sister or his mom? I don't really see him going crazy over a wife. Plus, Nikolai 2.0 remembers this memory too, so don't you think he's a bit, you know, too young to be married? I don't know, it's just my opinion. That's really interesting. I don't think we have a confirmation that's his wife that passed. I think it's just sort of assumed since that's the main part about Nikolai. Like, it just doesn't make much sense to me. That he, you know, his main thing that we've all known about Nikolai was his wives, and I just feel like that whole ending cutscene with him saying how he went into a depression and, you know, all that stuff was just, drunken incarnations, I feel like Treyarch was trying to tell us that he lost his first wife, and then after that, he went into a drunken depression, you know, gained all these other wives, whether or not they're real or not, I can't really tell. There's no real evidence that points to either. I don't know if he made up all these wives while he was depressed. I don't know if he, you know, got married a bunch while he was depressed, while he was drunk all the time. But I just feel like that's the story Treyarch was trying to hint at the ending. And I could be wrong though, I definitely could be wrong. I'm not totally sure on that. Vigilant Crusader says, to me personally, this map is amazing, but I still don't think it has surpassed Origins yet. I do believe, in my opinion, that it has beat Mob of the Dead, but I still think Origins is my favorite still, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, if you guys like a map over other maps, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's just a game after all. It's all opinions, so it doesn't really matter what I say. I mean, I say I love Shangri-La all the time, and I say Shangri-La is like the best map ever, but I mean, I know that most of you guys don't like Shangri-La. Like, everybody hates Shangri-La but me, right? So at the end of the day, though, I think Gorod Krovi is one of the best that we've ever had since Mob of the Dead. I think it's personally, for me, the best map we've had since Mob of the Dead. But Origins, in my opinion, I don't know, like Origins, the thing with Origins is that I can't really play Origins too much back to back. Like, there's never been a time where I get to round 20 on Origins and I'm like, oh, let me just do that again. Let me go build all the stabs again. Let me, you know, build all this, use the tank and go around and get all these pieces to everything and unlock the whole map and use the record and the, you know, everything, and play the map again. I've just never done that with Origins, personally for me. It's a lot of fun to play, especially at the right time. Like, if you're feeling in the mood to play Origins, it's a freaking dang good map to play, don't get me wrong. But in my opinion, Gorod Krovi is more simpler, it's more fun. At its core, it flows a lot better in my opinion. I just think it's, personally for me, the best map since Mob of the Dead though. That doesn't mean you're wrong though. I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's what makes us human, man. That's what makes us human. Hugh Fulton says, I love the map, but we seriously need a new perk. At this point, I'm so desperate that even bringing back Who's Who would make me happy. That is such a true statement. I think me and Lex said this, and things people say before as well. Who's Who? I would take Who's Who over nothing. I would take any perk over nothing. We just need a new perk. And honestly, at this point, that's something I didn't mention in my review, and I don't know why I didn't. We didn't get a new perk, and that's something that's been really bugging me a lot. Like, the map is still good, but the lack of a new perk is really disturbing. It's like Treyarch doesn't want to, you know, try to come up with a new perk idea at all. And maybe that's because they might be out of ideas for perks, but it also could be that they think there's way too many perks already. I'm not really sure, but maybe they're saving a bunch of new perks for the end. That'd be really cool. But I don't know, I would love to see a new perk, especially in DLC 4. I think that'd be great. Maybe something has to do with ammo, because we've never had something like that before. I don't know. I hope it happens. Now, our final comment for today, guys, comes from Bob Ross. Once again, Bob Ross, man. This man is on fire. The ending was half predictable. We all knew we would get Nikolais' soul, but what I don't believe anyone saw coming was Richtofen actually sending the soul somewhere. Now we're finally back to the old zombie days, wondering what are we doing and where are we going next? Where are we going from here? But yeah, aside from my garbage singing, that is something that is extremely exciting for zombies. This is the first time in Black Ops 3 that I have no idea where we're going next. I have no idea where the next map is. Probably Egypt. Maybe London? I don't know. I don't really know the right answer, but that's awesome. Like, I don't know where this next map could take place. I have a feeling it's Egypt. I don't know why, it just feels like an ending sort of environment, especially with giant pyramids everywhere for zombies. But I don't know for sure, and I don't know where our storyline is going. It's all a blank. There's no connection to where we're going next. It's all up in the air, and it's really exciting to know that we have this mysteriousness and vagueness about what's happening again. It's just a really cool thing. And maybe now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that was the whole point of them, you know, giving us all these clues to all the maps. I mean, we knew that we're gonna have an island map. We knew that we're gonna have a Stalingrad map since basically Shadows. And, you know, we had all these clues. We knew we were gonna have a Drak, a castle map, and we had all these locations plotted out. But maybe, just maybe, Treyarch did all this so that DLC 4 is like the most mysterious and crazy thing that we have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they just planned it this way, so that way we go into DLC 4 going, huh, we knew what was gonna happen in all the other maps, but now we don't know how it's gonna end. We have no idea what's going on. It's just, That's really cool. I really love how Treyarch's done it. Even though I've sort of complained about how we've always known what map is next, and I used to love guessing what the next maps are, it's still a really cool thing that up until now we've known everything, and then now we don't know where we're going. We don't know where the next map is. We don't know where it's taking place. We don't know what the house is. We don't know what anything is. And it's very, very exciting just for zombies in general and the ending of our story. So that wraps up the Zombies Backfire for today. This is a pretty long one, actually. I think we're recording about 40 minutes right now, which is crazy. So I'm gonna have to edit this down and hopefully get it down to a better time frame for you guys. But just in general, thank you guys so much for all the comments on the review. Like, that review I'm super proud of. That review took me so long. I actually wrote an entire script for that review, and I don't write scripts too much, you know, at least in the recent videos. I haven't wrote a script too many times, but with that video I wanted it to be as thoughtful as I could and hitting as many points as I could, so I didn't want to do a spontaneous commentary. I really wanted to sort of jot down everything I was thinking and just try to do an unbiased review on the map. And from what I saw in the comments, you guys actually really enjoyed it, so that makes me really happy, and I'm just really glad that you guys enjoyed the video. And again, thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for the comments. It's just been absolutely crazy, and yeah, I guess this is it. This has been, unfortunately, the end of the video. And once again, this has been me, JC, and I will see you guys on the next video. May we meet again.